Let's have some fun with SID Wizard. I don't know about you, but I need all the help I can get making SID tunes. Let's look at a few ways that the Sysop-64 cartridge for the Commodore 64 can extend SID Wizard well beyond stock machine capabilities. Alright, let's get into it. First up, I could really use mouse support. We're going to enable this without modifying the original SID Wizard code at all. We use the Sysop-64's frame buffer to draw our mouse pointer instead of using a sprite on the C64, and then of course that will get blended with the machine's video. First we define the rectangles for the important parts of the UI. Then we add code to do hit testing. When we get a match, we send pokes to specific memory locations using DMA. Now I can navigate the UI by using the mouse plugged into the DE10 Nano's USB port, which I find much easier than using the keyboard. Okay, besides a mouse pointer, what else could we draw on top of the SID Wizard UI? The latest Sysop-64 FPGA core includes an API for getting the waveform data for each of the SID voices. How about using that to make a visualization? I find it super useful to visualize the impact all these instrument parameters have on the waveform that's produced. Let's look at a few examples. We'll try the different waveform types. Now let's try some pulse table settings. Or how about the ADSR envelope values? Okay, you get the idea. It's also just really cool to watch while a song is playing. Note that this isn't just for SID Wizard. You can run this with anything. For example, in this recently released demo, or in my favorite test game, Gianna Sisters. Next up, MIDI. I've updated the Sysop-64's Linux kernel image to include MIDI drivers. I've got a Yamaha Reface DX keyboard here that I'd love to use with SID Wizard. SID Wizard supports a range of MIDI devices, and I had to pick one to emulate in the FPGA core. I chose the Namesoft MIDI device just because it uses NMI interrupts, and I've already done some work with NMI interrupts previously with Sysop. In addition to the FPGA core update, I wrote a small app to run on the Linux side that listens for MIDI events and then sends them to the FPGA. Note that MIDI support has to be enabled in SID Wizard for this to actually do anything. I gave it some other features too, like the ability to record and then play back again. Never had one lesson. Well, that's probably pretty obvious. And here's the playback of the notes we just recorded. Alright, next up, let's talk about scripting and automation. Another part of my SID Wizard extension is a tool that runs on Linux that can manipulate instruments, patterns, and the order list using DMA. With this tool, we can now write Linux shell scripts to do some simple SID Wizard automation. In this example, I'm going to load each instrument that comes with SID Wizard and play a few notes using our MIDI tool. Let's fast forward through most of this. As you can imagine, this could come in really handy when trying to find the perfect sound you're after for your song. In a previous video, I talked about using the Sysop-64 as an MCP server to use AI to control your Commodore 64. I've added a few of the SID Wizard automation tools to the MCP server, as you can see here. Now just pick your favorite AI chat tool with MCP support and see what you can do. Let's try adding some notes to a pattern. I've given it some additional instructions that describe the SID Wizard specification for patterns and instruments. I'll speed this part up for you. Next, I'll approve use of the Set Pattern tool, and let's see what we get. Notes are easy. How about creating a new instrument? It's been a mixed bag of results trying to get all the big models to try to do this, with most of them really struggling just to get the final byte count right. Let's see what we get this time. Alright, let's give it a listen. That needs some work, but you can start to see a glimpse of the possibilities here. We're just getting started with Sysop-64 extensions for Commodore 64 programs. Don't forget, please like this video and subscribe to show your support for this project. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.